Good
Yeah, there we go.
evening,
Now it's working.
everyone.
Apologies, everyone. That was my bad. I moved my headset to a different socket in my computer, therefore it changed the input and output on it.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 91 of Dom and Tom Sit, Talk and Hobby.
91.
Yeah, it's doing quite well. So generally, people, what we do is we just sit here, we do a bit of chatty and a bit of hobby, and hopefully you guys are doing exactly the same. Feel free to interact with us or interact with each other in the chat. And we'll cover a few little topics and we'll go through what we're hobbyings on. So, Tom, are you doing any hobbyings tonight?
I'm not hobbying. I'm really hobbying.
Really hobbying.
Because obviously, as you know, I have Night Lords. So I'm making decisions on my next purchases for my Night Lords army.
Ooh,
based
on
on having a little look
at
the book a bit more, because I haven't read it properly yet, in my opinion.
There's a lot in that book.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
How about you?
I am currently dry brushing some Chaos Space Marine. So I'm working through a little squad of 5 here. In the squad of 5, I've got the one with the Bale Tome, one with a big old chain axe, and a few of the little guys with combat weapons. What is everybody in the chat working on? Hello, Felpire. Hello, Orkster. Hello, Dave Holland. What's everyone doing on the hobby bench tonight, peoples?
There better be something.
Do. Come on, people. We're all doing some hobby. I can see it.
I'm not.
No, except you're doing reading.
Well, I thought we could talk about the Chaos Codex a bit,
Yeah. We've been waiting for that for a little while, so we can talk about the Chaos Codex a little bit. Working on some Tomb Blades. Oh, nice. What weapons have you gone with the Tomb Blades, Spellpire?
None. He told me he wasn't putting any weapons on them.
They're just, completely recon. No weapons.
Flying their own.
Whatsoever. Please, for the good of paper. Yeah, no, definitely, Felpire. Hello, Mr. Blue. Railroad and Berserkers. Nice. Berserkers for your Alpha Legion? Very cool, very cool. Actually, that could work quite well.
Can they can't do the Legion trait though, can
they? No, but you can have certain little perks on them. You can use stratagems, etc. But you can't use the -1 to hit.
There, yes, he's right. Phil's right. Just crashing into the lines, you see.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. House blasters. Nice. Painting Hobgrots. Trying to get the Berserkers finished. Nice. Everyone loves Berserkers. They are pretty cool.
I mean, at least Berserkers, they could become barbers.
Terminator, Deathwing Terminators. Oh, nice.
So good selection of stuff going on.
Everybody.
And I assume Mr. Blue's Railroad is for the little hobby challenge for the end of the year. If I remember correctly.
Is Pariah?
I don't know actually. I actually haven't read any Night Lord books, oddly enough. I probably should do.
I tell you what, the trilogy from ADB is absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend that one.
I've got some credits on Audible coming up, so I might
use it. 100%. That's a brilliant series. You need to go in, get invested in that. It almost made me do Night Lords for a short time, and I thought, nah, they're not pure, not like my word bearers. So I'm not going to be doing that.
Well, no, I mean word bearers, they kind of started the whole thing, didn't they? Because they're just idiots.
We're the cool guys. We're the cool kids. Everyone followed. And Vanguard. I missed a couple of minutes. I got distracted. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully you're working on something cool, Vanguard. Hello, Captain Jack. Yeah, that is the hurdle, Mr. Blue. It's not red. Not in my army. Not interested. I think you have 30k Thousand Suns. I was like, they're not shade of red. I can do that.
Just slot them in. Be fine.
Yeah, be all good.
Yeah, no.
It's all going to be red.
Yeah, I've got quite a lot to do for my Night Lord's army, really. Because I only ever really, as you know, it was a 30k army to begin with.
Yep.
So it was very kind of basic troop heavy and not a lot of
fancy stuff.
Chaos items, because obviously they hadn't technically fallen then fully. Whereas now I'm obviously need to ramp up the chaosness.
Ramp it up. Ramp it up. Yeah. So, what are you thinking so far? What's your thinking for your Night Lords?
Well, I do need to add some more raptors.
Yep.
So I'm just going to pull up the old the stat sheet here. Yeah, because why not? Also, I'll tell you the one bit I was quite interested with was the Crusade rules look quite fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. I haven't
Yeah.
actually looked too much into the Crusade stuff at the
I've had a
moment.
little
I think.
read, and yeah, lots in there.
What's your basic thought on the book though, Tom?
Oh, the book's great. I think they've done a good job with it. It's a bit. I would say it's quite weighty. In rules perspective, and obviously because they've tried to cram all the legions in, they could naturally, it differs quite a bit to the Space Marine one in that particular respect. Because I think they've also had to, they obviously put in the creators of Bile, Red Corsairs as well, just to make sure they're covered, because you need to, don't you? So, but I think there's a bit in there for everyone who likes a bit of chaos, personally.
Yeah, that is a really cool book. I
And
thoroughly
it says
enjoyed it.
Pharos for Night Lords. Okay, I'll bear that.
Oh yeah, Pharos. Yeah, so Pharos is 30k with the Night Lords attacking the old beacon, isn't it? That's quite cool. And what was the one when the oh no, that's the Arm Warriors. No, yeah, Pharos is good.
Yeah. So Raptors, obviously, I think the key thing with they now actually have a decent amount of attacks.
And they're relatively cheap as well.
Oh yeah, but yeah, they're 3 attack base on each model, plus a chainsword which gives an extra one. That's just like.
Yep. It's pretty cool.
Because beforehand it was 1 and an extra one for charging, and the thing is, a little bit.
And you got a modifier as well.
Yes. Well, you got that. You got that previously anyway. You did get a.
Yeah. I'm just saying they've retained that, and you've got your one for your Night Lords.
And I've got the one for the Night Lords, yes, and some stack abilities. But then, having a look at Warp Talons, I also want some of them as well.
Yep.
I mean, mainly because also I don't think you can. That's it. They cannot fall back either if they're in engagement range for Warp Talons as well, which is quite a nice little feature. Especially if you sandwich some Raptors in there at the same time, then they're getting that leadership debuff. Plus, they can't run away, so they have to fight.
I suppose it depends how much you want to kind of theme your Night Lords as well. If you want to keep towards that 30k theme, or drift, or aim more.
To be honest, because my dreams of playing 30k have disappeared now. Not in a way that I can't do it. It's more the fact that I just don't really want to do it. I feel that I don't need to keep that quite as sort of stringent on that. So as you said, I think you mentioned Chaos Spawn might be a bit of fun as well.
Spawn. They've got a nice little modifier on there as well, and they're quite tasty now, I think, in the new rules.
Yeah, just having a little look. Quite bad. My eyesight was really playing up with me there, because I just looked at attacks. It's a 203, and as I know, it's 2d3, Tom. That would be.
Well, seems a little bit above average. 203 attacks. I think I could work with this.
But yeah, because they do get that subtract 1 leadership characters and models in that unit as well, which is quite a nice little. But yeah, there was some umming and ahhing over I think the Night Lords, some of the rules and stratagems and how they work because of the way some of the wording was done. I'm just trying to remember which one it was.
Have you been doing a bit of research on the Night Lords?
Yeah, I was trying to just because when I play them, I actually want to be able to understand them a bit more. It's I think it's in here. Is it this one here? Is it the Terror? I'm just going to read it quickly and just check that I'm reading the right bit here.
This is all about chaos tonight, guys. So if you're a filthy follower of the False Emperor, it's not for you tonight. It's all about chaos. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way they worded their terror tactics it's a bit. I'm going to have to check and see if they FAQ'd it or not. But basically, says the units with this trait have the following ability, or terror tactics, or within 9 inches, you subtract 2 from the leadership characteristics of models in that unit.
Okay.
So if you take a Space Marine unit, say a tactical Marine, whatever. So obviously if they were taking the leadership from the standard troops, that -2 would actually be quite good. But if you think about if you take it from the sergeant and you use the sergeant's,
I see what you mean.
yeah, because they said models,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's the intention of the rule, obviously, because I think that it doesn't make sense. But actually they've I think there was some I was listening to a few people talking about. There's nowhere in leadership modifiers where it says which model you need to use. Is it the highest model in the unit or is it the group average?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's interesting. I'm pretty sure in the old rules it was. It might be in the current. I'd have to look, to be honest. It was the highest.
yes.
Mr. Blue, I predict the 83rd is getting Spartan by the end of the year. Yeah, probably. They're quite cheap, actually. They're a lot cheaper than Land Raiders on eBay at the moment. However, I did film a battle report, which will be coming up soon, against the filthy Ultramarines. And I put a little spoiler in now. So spoiler warning, don't listen. Mute me for a second if you don't want to hear what happens. But I can tell you right now, if you give a Leviathan Dreadnought the word bearer Legion tactic, it is not nice for anyone. There you go. Watch out for that. Right. Vanguard. Yes, I can't decide what army to collect next. Okay. Eventually, but go back and forth. Custom Crawford Elder or Babbling Orcs.
See, I have the opposite. I think I'm trying to get rid of an army at the moment.
Oh, really?
I feel like my attention is too split around various armies. I'm trying to focus a bit more in on the ones I actually enjoy doing. So at the moment on the chopping block is Grey Knights and Astra Militarum.
Yeah. You've never been a big fan of Astra Militarum, and I think your attention on Grey Knights is waning a lot of the time, isn't it? It's not really got your.
Yeah, I just it's one of those armies I want to like, but when I come to play them, I'm like, oh, there's so much just going on there, and I'm not really. That's not about how I want to play. So, I may have to think. Maybe I'll get rid of both. I don't know. I'd feel quite bad though because I have painted the Grey Knights. I had a big bit of a surge on them a few months ago to try and get them up to kind of a good level. Andy, send your card. You want my card now? I mean, mate, if you're serious,
Run all the models.
If you're serious, we can have a chat. But I will warn you, some of the colour choices I made are quite garish, and some of the basing on it is quite snowy. So it would do. I think you'd want to have a look at them before you made any decision on that one. But if you're interested, I'm happy to have a conversation. Of course, that is not a problem. It would not include my big tanks though.
No point then.
As in, when I say big tanks, I mean my I love your habitats. Hey, all I care is it goes to a good home. Honestly, that's what I care about because I was wanting to go to someone who actually wants to use them because I always feel quite bad when I have an army that I've just got sitting around and I don't feel like the money I've put into it doesn't match the enjoyment / usage that army's getting. Because it's all very well having all these lovely models and stuff, but if you're not using them, and that's what your primary focus on the game is, and that for me playing is one of the higher focuses on the game, then I don't feel I'm using that to the best of its ability. I know you've had a couple of probably questions on some of your armies over the years, Dom, because you did your orcs a long time ago because you weren't really.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I know you love orcs, but you just didn't.
Yeah, I've got a special place in my heart for orcs. But I don't think anytime soon I'll be doing orcs again. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, just mega armored knobs. I them all in the Gorkanauts and Morkanauts.
But you're saying that because that's a low model count for orcs.
Yeah, that's what
the only reason.
I don't want to do 100 orc boys, jeez. But most of my armies have definitely got a soft spot for. Yeah. I think some armies I can't picture myself collecting. So like going back to Vanguard there, I can't see myself doing Craftworld Elder. No. Although War Venom, if he's on the chat tonight, he put some pictures up on Instagram of his Craftworld Elder, and they look really nice. So well done, War Venom. They look really nice. But for me, Craftworld Elder aren't really there. But then again, I love my guard because it's at the the historical part of me that I love real world kind of militaries and guard tick done. Word bearers, yeah. Berserkers because world eaters because they're fun. Just like so we just go that way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Keep going and do
Necrons as
this.
well. Chaos Knights, I think I like it because the models are really nice. I love the new Dread stuff they've put in. Now, like I said, I did that doubles tournament and they were really good fun. Yeah. So all my armies, I've really got a nice spot for, but the only problem is, like you said, Tom, it's like getting around to playing them.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah. So that's my finished one. I don't know if I actually showed it off yet. Probably not, but yeah, I
there you
like
go,
mine.
don't
I must admit I like my Night Soul because it was quite refreshing to just play a simple low model count big army. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, they are such nice models. They're like just the whole process I find with knights, like the modeling aspect, the painting aspect, the playing aspect. They're such a cool army.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely good stuff. And what other armies we've got? Demons. I think I don't love demons, but I love what they can do in like an apocalypse game. I think I was talking to Dave Holland about this. When you've got like, you've got 2,000 points of like pure bloodletters in reserve, and then your apocalypse game, you're like, I just wait for Tom to move a few more units off that flank, and then I'm going to
And then
dump
fail
100.
all your charges.
Yeah, I fail every charge, but you're going to have to kill 100 bloodletters. Ah! So I'm looking forward to the new codex. Hopefully that'll reinvigorate me.
The chaos
toward,
one, yeah. I'm the same because I've got, as you know, I've quite got into my chaos demons. But I've kind of not sidelined. I'm waiting now because I feel anything I invest in it right now is probably potentially a waste of money / not what I want to do with them because I don't know, what's going on with them. So, and with it so close, it seems a bit silly to burn more money on them, bar the bigger models.
Yeah. And I think a lot of my armies are based around my passion for apocalypse. So I love having this like massive war host of stuff that I'm like, yeah, this is going to be loads of fun. Like the demons coming in, the Chaos Knights, got the Berserk, the World Eaters charging forwards, the Word Bearers. It's brilliant. And my Sisters of Battle as well. So my Sisters of Battle,
Yeah.
really enjoyed painting them and what I've played with them. I think the problem is I think I've just wrangled like 1,200 points. So if I could get up to 2,000, I'd probably play them more. But yeah, they're kind of floating around. I wouldn't get rid of them. They're just there that I'd want to invest more time in, but I haven't had time yet.
Well, it's like, I should probably I want to play my sisters more, but I just haven't got around to painting the models up. So I've got enough to do a good size game with them if I got them painted, and they're definitely in my thoughts. Just they haven't really been my priority yet. So which is weird because I used to bang on about them quite a bit.
They're really, the thing is, they're cool models.
Yes.
I really love the system models. I like the paint scheme I've done with them. I've played them and have enjoyed playing with them, but I think I just need to ramp it up and invest more time in there to play them. But yeah, Vanguard, the main thing I'm going to be doing my armies is trying to tie my armies together. Yeah, good idea. I'll go red. That's my tie-in performer.
That was obviously what I bought the guard for, was to tie them with my templars, but actually it didn't really work out the way I wanted.
You wanted to.
So
Yeah.
I don't feel it's not necessarily about. I think Andy said, "I'll wait for the codex." I said, "Yeah, I could do, but I don't think that's gonna." I've been through 2 or 3 codexes already with them. I think over the years, each time it's like, "Oh, this would be really cool," but it doesn't suit my. I don't know. I think I'm with you, by the way. I love the guardsman's lore stuff and that thing, but I think I'd rather play something like Black Powder.
Yeah.
Because that's the era.
Yeah.
That's actually the era of that kind of warfare I'm in love with for that style of play. So because as you know, I'm a bit of a Sharp fan. You
do love a bit of Sharp.
Yeah, oddly enough, I'm actually listening to that on Audible at the moment. So.
Oh, very nice. But yeah, most of the armies are. I don't think there's any other armies to mention there. Renegades and Heretics fall into my Chaos category and my Guard category. They're a nice happy ground.
Crossover.
Yeah, exactly. So sorry, go back to Vanguard. So whatever I pick, I'll have to figure out the tie-in. Yeah, exactly.
A good story tie-in. Be fine.
Palette wise, base wise. Yeah, and I think I don't know about other people in the chat tonight, but a lot of my armies, I have stories in my head of how they've got certain things, especially with the 83rd. There's particular markings on all my models, not all of them, but some have got markings like battle markings. If they've got like the white crosses across their eyes, it's from killing Ultramarines. They've got more brass on their helms or silver helms. It just shows they're proper old school veterans. It's little bits like that I chuck in for my own benefit a lot of the time. Well, my necrons and space marines, we tie together by the bases. Yeah, nice.
Cool.
I'm kind of looking forward to see what the guard have actually. To be honest, I'm a bit worried they're gonna up their tech level significantly to a point where they're more like the other factions. I quite like it.
Maybe.
They're quite archaic in some ways. Everything is mass produced and cheap as chips.
Yes, I think the one that would potentially suit me is if there was a very big surge of the Deathcore Kree. You know, if there was a very big surge of very iconic units from them, because that look of that army that sways me big time in how I'd want a guard army to look. I think because I do find Cad. I think that might be one of the things that does put me off is the Cadian look.
Cadian kits.
Yeah, they just look so. I think the word I look is vanilla. Yeah, there's no real soul.
Yeah,
and
I completely get it. Yeah,
and unfortunately, I like an army with a bit of, I suppose, a bit of character in its look, and I just find that yes, I could do that with it, but I don't. I feel like it's just me bolting on stuff on top of stuff. Because I think when I first played it a long time ago, even before I think it was even before I met you, Dom. I think the first time I actually played it was the Vostrians.
Yep.
And I love that. Yeah, that look was really really cool. You know, kind of.
Big hats.
Yeah, it was not. They looked different to standard guard regiments. That was nice, but that's a long time ago, and I don't think I have those models anymore.
No, I think the talk about Acadian kits, and this is probably the more old school hobbyist talking than the way the Games Workshop kind of want you to go. Is I love like the kit bashing element of it, that you have the foundation, which is the Acadian model kit, and then you can just improvise and chuck new stuff at it and kind of go, look, what's this look like? Because as you were saying about your Black Templars and kind of it being like a recruiting regiment kind of, or a supplemental regiment that assists. I kind of like the idea that they would have these kind of feudal look to them.
Yeah.
That maybe they've got certain aspects to it, like shields on the tanks. I think you've done that with a couple of yours.
I've done it, yeah. I did that on.
Yeah. And I think that's something you can kind of go into, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Using that kit to do stuff.
Probably very expensive as well.
Yeah. And I think that's the passion about it. But if you just want to play for games for it, the Acadians, they've got enough there, but.
No,
I think the good thing about Guard is the variance, or the variety of planets they can recruit from.
And I think that's one thing that's not reflected in what the range offers. I think that's one of the things that annoys me the most, because it used to be, odd enough, I think it's one of the ranges that has got smaller from a character point of view in all of them. Because obviously they used to have, you could get a lot of different ones back. Back there. I know they were a little bit cut and pasty with different uniforms basically, but they did look very iconically different.
Absolutely.
I know you can do a Katachan army, couldn't you, technically, I suppose, still. But again, that's not my style of guard. So maybe when some other kits come out I might change my mind, but with my current army, it's for me it would be a rebuild. I think that's the problem. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a Deathcore Krieg army.
Maybe.
Make them rather templary.
Yeah, exactly. You could do something with them. They're quite cool looking, models. And imagine if they release them on a full scale, it'd be very nice. I actually played against a Deathcore army not too long ago in this doubles tournament. It was Deathcore and Tyranids, and the Deathcore. They're just such nice models. I think it was 90% Forge World, and he chucked in a couple of the new Kill Team models, and you really couldn't tell the difference. But they are nice models. Gold got some good stuff.
So, and obviously we've got our rather large game coming up as well.
Yeah, we have indeed.
Actually, while I've got you here, I think you still left the date on the old date for the actual event.
I'll have to have a look.
Just as
Pretty
a
sure I
just a quick
changed it.
check, because I think it's still on the original date that we picked.
Let me have a look, dear sir. Let me have a
I'm
look
still deciding
again.
what to do with the board.
No, I've changed the date.
You have done. Cool. I wasn't sure. Maybe
Yeah,
I
yeah,
misread.
yeah. The date.
I thought it
has
was on
been
the
changed.
title of the event was wrong or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, no. It might be the old one, might still be up, but there is a different one on there.
You haven't invited me to the new one. That's just nasty.
Oh, this is awkward. No, it's on there. It's on there. It's all good. Don't you worry, Tom.
Oh no, it's around mine. So if you don't,
very awkward. Yeah, so we have done some practice games, Tom. Myself and Vicky, we had a game not too long ago.
Yeah, I saw you
last week. Because basically, I don't know if you're aware that the new codex is out, and we're trying to get more familiar with the way it works. And yeah, I think successfully, I'm getting a better understanding. I've played 3 games now with my word bearers. 3 games. Yeah, one on the stream we did a couple of weeks ago. One against Vicky, and this other one that I played the Ultramarines. I didn't do Vengeance for Monarchia, which is a shame. I was really hoping to get that stratagem in. And I'm pretty sure he was looking for the Calf one, but the command points just get disappearing very quickly. And yeah, really fun. I'm loving word bearers in the new stuff. But I suppose the way they play is a lot different to how they originally played in 8th. So it's getting used to that new way of playing, which I like the new way of playing. I think it's really good. But it's just, trying to, like we're saying about the codex, there's so many different levels to it, where you've got, for me, the Dark Apostles, and then I've got my sorcerers, and then of course you've got the stratagems on top of them. And it's just trying to remember which is it a stratagem I'm trying to think of, or is it a spell, or is it a prayer? And it's just trying to remember all these.
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't really done much prayer stuff with mine anyway, so having that in there is probably something I've got to have a look at. But just looking through, great, it's just nice to be able to draw upon all the various different things now, rather than getting stuck with. I mean, the old Chaos Codes was pretty poor, really, in comparison. So now everybody's got their own relics, everyone's got their own stratagems, everyone's got their own special warlord traits. Yeah, it's a lot. That's why that book's really big. But then I suppose you have to take into account that you're not going to play every legion.
Yeah, I mean, like, Tom,
I've got them here as well.
The cards at hand. That's a lot of cards to go through. But once you take out the gods, the legions, the particular units,
obviously the Space Marines is a big codex. So there you go. There's the Space Marine one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. So but they do need it. But again, you have to sort of say, you're only really dealing with probably about 50% of that deck.
Not even that. Yeah. Not even that, is it?
Exactly. It's
a load in there. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing at the moment. Also, trying to get used to if it's a warlord trait or if it's a relic. There's so much stuff. But for me, the reroll hits, and even the mortal wound protection has mortal wound protection's helped a couple of times.
Yep, it's surprising, isn't it?
It's just trying to remember, though, isn't it? It's like when your tank blows up, you're like, gotta remember, I can do this. I can save someone. Someone can survive this big pile of like rhino door, chopping him in half or something. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm loving it. I'm using cult troops a lot still.
Good.
Plague Marines are pretty nifty.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's. I mean, the fact you can draw from it and still have your theme in your army is good. So, because obviously they've given all of those things. They can have a mark and they can have those certain abilities for that. Yeah, that style of thing, which is nice. So, and hopefully that stays in there. I mean, obviously, I think I get obviously because I think Emperor's Children are clearly a little way off because they got included much more in the Chaos Codex than the other 3 versions.
They're going to be a little while off, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see World Eaters 10th edition. Are going to be in that Angron model. Oh my goodness!
even I'm like, I wouldn't mind doing World Eaters again.
Man, that is such a cool model.
They've went
unbelievable.
Ears off the chain.
Yeah, Angron 100% is. Yeah, I was like, I gotta get that model. Looks amazing. I'm really excited to see what the range looks like, though. I really hope they go all out on the World Eaters.
Yeah,
because I like.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. What's everyone's thoughts on the new Chaos Spaceman Codex? Has anyone, if you've played it, what do you think? And what Legion are you playing?
Well, what Legion are you thinking of playing?
Oh, thinking of playing, yeah. Yeah. Maybe you're tempted towards the dark side. Maybe you'll pick up a little army. Cheeky little bit of Alpha Legion.
You want me to get Alpha Legion? Okay.
Go for it. Alpha Legion. Hey, Hydra.
Ah, Death Guard. Yeah, I mean, I've got Death. I mean, obviously, I've got Death Guard. Almost all my champions.
Yeah. I feel you, Mr. Blue. I feel you. I mean, that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, the negative side is that we've lost a little bit on the way, unfortunately. I've suffered with you there, Mr. Blue. I suffered with you. But the positive is though that I think we've came out of it relatively well, as in rule wise.
I think the positives outweigh the negatives. There's going to be a bit of kit bashing for people, but not the end of the world.
Just means when the new Demon Prince comes out, maybe the Vulture's ascended. Who knows? Felpire got me thinking about digging out my Iron Warriors. Yes, Iron Warriors. Nice. Maybe I'll do Iron Warriors next, and that's easy.
No. You can't do Iron Warriors. They hate word bearers.
Nah, they love word bearers. They're best friends, BFFs. Nah, I think, I'll go back into my World Eaters when they come out.
Oh yeah, you should do. I think you've got some nice units still already for them, so it wouldn't be too big a start for you.
I just love the style. It's like, so we just go forward all the time.
Well, it's the Blunt Hammer's army, isn't it? So it makes it easy to play, but also probably quite hard to master. So I mean, I heard Vicky's Lord Discordant had some fun.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought we didn't record that game, so I can just talk about it now. Vicky cheated a lot in that game. All right, I wasn't going to say anything, but she was terrible.
I'm waiting. Yeah, she's
constantly cheating. I was just being polite. I was like, oh, really? Can they do that? Oh, okay. I mean, I can't see it in the codex, Vicky, but okay, I'll take your word for it. No, honestly, no, it was a really fun game.
That's not what I'm getting. That's not the vibe I'm getting from the other room at the moment.
Yeah. Maybe you've got a supplement I'm unaware of. I mean, I've read that White Dwarf, but I didn't think that all those rules.
You did read the right section.
Yeah, well, apparently, yeah, it's a different section. But no, it was a very fun game. I did make a massive boo-boo. My warp talons came down, and I was going to charge Vicky's backfield objective with my warp talons, slay a load of cultists, a bit overkill. But they failed their charge because why would they ever pass their charge? I mean, why would they bother? And then so they just stood there looking like lemons for a turn. Vicky kind of plinked a few auto gunshots at them. Didn't do anything. Maybe caused one wound on one, possibly. And then towards the center objective, I had 2 squads of cult troops. I had rubrics and plague marines battling against a defiler. And in my backfield, Vicky had put her red butcher terminators in. And my thoughts were, this is my thoughts were, if I can kill that defiler with these warp cannons, I can then free up the squads of the cult troops to fall back and go back and get that objective. That's my plan. I think it's quite a solid plan. I've got a lot of attacks here. I can shred. Hopefully it kill it. Because it was already wounded. Like Khan the Betrayer on the run up had been hitting the back of the defiler the entire time. So it was like the legs were limping, the claw was like hanging in, and it was kind of going down. And then I got a little bit greedy because I was like, well, Vicky's put her Lord Discordant just behind this defiler. So technically, I could kill both of them. Yeah. So then I charged both. I think a couple got killed in Overwatch when they were going in. Just typical, is it? Just died to Overwatch. And basically, Lord Discordant did a number on them and killed all the warp talents before they even did anything. I was like, what's going on here? And so that was...
Learn your lesson.
Horrible. Yeah. I did learn my lesson. Never going to do that again.
And get it all to school.
Never going to do that again. It's going to keep going for cultists. Like my 200-point unit. Hello, Peter.
Welcome, Peter. Welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was quite good fun. Some good stuff happened. Kind of betrayer. Finally, after beating up half of Vicky's army, decided to climb up the building and kill off 5 legionnaires. My Dark Apostle, jeez, just killed. I think like 16 berserkers.
Horrible. You got to kill it before it kills you. Kill it before it kills you.
So yeah, he did good stuff. It was a fun game.
Good.
And it's just
Vicky's
trying to get
yeah,
the
fun,
repetition in to get those, to remember the rules. Yeah. But yeah. So that was a good game. And our game obviously was good as well that we played.
We streamed that one, so hopefully people will actually have seen that.
Hopefully people will go back and I was watching it earlier actually. I went back and I watched it again. And I was like, yes, it's quite a good game.
Oh yeah, it was
I
good
very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
26 Terminators. I mean, who takes 26 Terminators?
Me! If you could pick anyone you knew that would take 26 Terminators, come on.
I think the thing is, you'd take 30 Terminators.
I would.
Or 33 Terminators.
I'd take 40 if I could.
All the Terminators!
Technically, I could do if I bought some more. I just need, because obviously Assault Terminator is a data card, Normal Terminator is a data card, and the Relic Terminator is a data card. So yeah. I could take 3 squads of each.
9 squads. 9 squads of Terminators in total.
So what you're saying is I need to buy more Terminators?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep buying Terminators,
I'll buy some more. I'm going to wait for the Primaris Terminators.
Slow and cumbersome Terminators. Keep buying them. That's what I say.
If I get more, I can deep strike them everywhere.
You could destroy it. Yeah. Big squads of 10.
Yeah.
Hardly a footprint.
If you're going to do a job, do it properly. Well, it's like my Death Guard force. I love my Terminators for them as well. I just wish there was more than one type.
Is that just a theme you're going to be running across all your armies? Like in your Night Lords? Suddenly there'll be 30
Night Lords, I probably won't have any. I don't think I'll have any Terminators in my Night Lords army, actually. I think
well, the Night Lord Terminators 30k, they are really cool models.
Oh, I know they look good. It's just I'm not sure I want them in my army as a thing. I want to try and keep it a bit more mobile, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm thinking more faster attack and more stuff that causes dread. I think that's So Venom Crawlers maybe, I'm thinking. Yeah, quite nice nowadays.
Venom Crawlers are fast. They're quite cool.
Yeah.
Beneficial to sorcerers and stuff. I'd say bikes, but the bike kits aren't amazing.
I'd wait to see if there's some new bikes come out. I think I was still very disappointed to see, because I had to look at something we spoke about the other week, was that Hellbreach still don't have the demon keyword. Why?
Bit rubbish. Well, they've got like the dreadnought rules, haven't they? So they've got a couple of cool little rules, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just don't like them. I don't think they've ever liked Hellbreach, to be honest.
Andy says to a friendly game. Yeah, Terminators. Yeah, they're friendly units.
That's what he does. So what he does, Andy.
It was a theme. I chose a Terminator theme.
We haven't got any power armor. We've got plenty of tactical dreadnought armor. Phobos.
Pete, I'm afraid I don't do Dark Angels. I'm afraid there's too many questions.
Too many questions. What a loyalty. I mean, the Death Guard. You have got. Is it 2 Terminator unit types in your elite, or is it 3?
No, you've only got 1.
No, because you've got the Death Shrouds.
That's it.
And the Blight Lords.
No, just Death Shrouds. Oh, you mean the elite. Sorry, the other type. Yes, sorry, yes. It's Death Shrouds and Blight Lords. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
They don't have the standard Terminator thing because they are the Blight Lords. So I see what you mean. Yeah. So I could take. I could take, but the Death Shrouds are a bit smaller squad size.
Squads of 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or can you have bigger squads?
I can't remember actually. They might have changed it. I think it's only 3. I think. I could essentially. I could, if I got another squad of 10, I could run 30 Blight Lord Terminators in 3 squads.
A lot of Terminators.
And you know what they're like to deal with.
Oh, they're just a pain in the butt.
But
Yeah,
also
yeah, oh,
now with Armor Contempt as well.
yeah. Well, I was thinking like about Armor Contempt the other day, and from a Chaos Space Marine player point of view or a System of Battle, I love it. But from a Xeno point of view, it's a pain in the butt. Because anywhere, yeah, you're kind of going with Necrons. Oh, jeez. Like, do you roll into the AP or do you avoid even bothering with trying to hand out any form of AP?
Yeah, I think for now, I think the other thing that's annoying, I think it's just become a bit of a bookkeeping exercise now. Because every roll you're going, right, I've got is that a -1 off that one? Yes, it is. So that one becomes 0, and then yeah, I mean, I know it's fairly simple. It's just that it's just
It's more.
just if you get it, just give the Marines a 2-up save across the board. Sod it. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah. It is. It's just just go for it.
Just sod it. Just give them all 2-up saves. Sod, and Terminators get a 1-up save.
Oh, passed. No modifier, passed.
No modifier, it's fine.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Passed. They'll go back to 10th edition, that 2d6 armor save for Terminators.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, pops again.
But obviously the other interesting bits was obviously the Land Raider had a small beef up as well, didn't it? Because the las cannon's got quite a nice little bump in damage.
Yeah, so they're not for all las cannons. It's
Right.
the Soul Shatter,
Soul
Shatter las cannons. Yeah, so the ones on the Chaos Predator on the turret,
not the same,
and the Land Raiders have got the +2 damage.
I see. Okay, that makes so the
Your standard like Havoc, or if you put them on the sponsons of the Predator.
I see they're different. I've got them here actually. I see
or
they're different. Yeah.
Hellbrute.
So it's basically their twin-linked variant, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but with Armor of Contempt
and Toughness 9 as well now.
Toughness 9, yeah, they are pretty cool still. I don't know. I think when I get possessed, I'd consider running Land Raiders more often. Because I don't know, like 4 las cannons, you put like prescience on them, hitting on 2s.
Yeah, they're good. I think. I mean, obviously, as you know, I've got 3 Land Raiders in my Black Temple. When was the last time you saw me put them on the table?
Yeah.
It's not even because I don't want to run them. It's just because actually, if you put 2, 3 in, you have no other points for your army left.
Very expensive.
And it's a shame really because obviously that was one of the Black Templar things. Plus, also I can't put Primaris in it, so they kind of become a bit moot point if you run a lot of Primaris. Which is unfortunately where my army's sort of gradually drifting nowadays. But that's just just the way I want them to look. I think they look cooler. That's just me personally, even though I know we have a slightly mixed pass with the Primaris on some of our crusades.
I think, the Chaos Legionnaire models were coming out, and I was comparing these to the Ultramarines, and there's not there is a size difference obviously between them, but it's not a massive size difference between the Legionnaires and the Primaris, and I kind of like the way that they haven't really gone that way. They've not gone down like, oh, we're Chaos Primaris. I like the idea that
it's more like demonic augmentation.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see that in the future that Firstborn are still in the Codex. I've got to worry though that at some point they're going to start going, yeah, we're going to take some of these out here.
I think they might take some of the more obscure units out. I mean, there's certain things that, I mean, obviously having looked at what they've removed from the Chaos range, some of the the jump pack laws and things like that, they're all disappearing. So I think you're going to see some of maybe the more niche variants of certain. I mean, like the HQ.
Yeah,
the HQs need to be slimmed a little bit because it's insane. Even as a player of the code, it's just
it's crazy.
It's like, why do I need like 30 HQs?
I can have 3 of each.
Yeah.
I can have 90 HQs.
Literally.
I could almost have a company of HQs.
I'm going to run 3 Supreme detachments.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's too much. It's too much. You don't need like 3 different captains. You don't. It's just just give us.
I mean, for a Chaos Space Marine point of view, it'd be nice to have 3 different types of Lord instead of just 2.
You're
I
being
mean,
picky now. Look,
we did have a jump lord until like a couple of months before
you
the
got
codex
demon
came out.
princes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, one demon prince variant, which is
So you've got Abaddon, Harken, Huron, the demon
okay.
prince, Fabius
Whoa.
Bile.
What have word bearers got?
Uh,
Or what have night lords got?
well, Terminator.
Where's your jump lord? Where's your jump lord gone? Is he still in that codex somewhere? Is he still hopping about in there, or maybe he got a lord on a bike because he's fast as well? No, he's gone as well, has he?
I get your point. We do have a Lord. To be fair, there is more than you think though. You got the Master of Possessions in HQ.
Yeah.
You've also got obviously
Well,
Demon Prince, Chaos Lord, and Terminator armor. You've got the Sorcerer, the Sorcerer and Terminator, Lucius, Lord Discordant, a Warpsmith, a Dark Apostle, and the Exalted Champion, which I didn't realise was an HQ.
I think the Exalted Champion could have been chucked into Elite or something.
Well, it's like a lieutenant, didn't he? So, but
yeah,
that lieutenant's for HQ as well. So,
but my point is rather that sorcerers or warpsmiths or dark apostles or lords, they could have more than one model. They could maybe hear me out, Tom. I know where you're coming from, but maybe
look,
they could have different war gear.
No, you don't. They don't do different war gear. That's what Primaris have done. That's what
you could have bikes.
You have to choose between 2 pistols and 2 weapons. That's it. It's the same hand. You just go, I'm going to have a sword or this. That's it. Don't get each.
It's insane though about Primaris lieutenants, isn't it? There you go. Primaris lieutenant, Phobos armor with big knife has got a data sheet. Primaris Phobos lieutenant with 2 guns has got a data sheet. What's going on?
I'd say the worst one's probably the chaplains actually, because obviously you got your chaplain, your Primaris chaplain, you've got chaplain with jump pack, you've got Terminator chaplain, you've got Primaris chaplain on bike. I'm pretty sure I've missed one.
It's probably another one. That's
That's 6. That's still 6. 6 types of chaplain.
I think 6 is enough. You don't need any less or any more. I mean, let's look at the Chaos variant. Dark Apostle. I mean, could you argue Dark Disciples are part of that?
Maybe,
I don't know.
You could maybe argue
Dark
Possession
Apostle,
is a similar.
Even if they kind of just wanted to tease us, go Dark Apostle with Dark Disciples. Dark Apostle without Dark Disciples.
Dark Apostle riding Dark Disciples.
Dark Disciple, yeah.
Little piggyback.
Yeah.
You do have a Dark Commune, though.
Yeah. I was looking at the rules for that earlier.
I'm just having a look now. I haven't actually really read it yet, so.
Because when. It seems a bit negative. But when they released the previews of all like the Dark Communion, all the new cultists and stuff, I was really excited. I was like, maybe you could have a almost pure like cultist army and just chuck a couple of like maybe a squad of Chosen in or a squad of Terminators in or something like that. But then in the codex goes, well, I can't have too many cultists. You have more troops than cultists. And I was like, oh right, okay, well that thing's gone.
It's interesting they put Cypher in your Chaos Codex, eh?
100%. Pardon?
Cypher's in the Chaos Codex, which is kind of like... Which is interesting.
Cypher's in the Codex?
Yeah.
Where the Fallen gone?
I mean, it says...
I mean, that's what the Dark Angels... The Dark Angels have been saying for 10,000 years.
But then maybe what they might do is put Cypher in the Marine Codex as well, when it comes out.
The Dark Angel Codex?
Yeah.
That's what that would be cool.
So, because that way it reinforces that kind of like we're not too sure what he's up to.
What I'd like to think, Tom, is that come 10th edition, the Fallen.
That would be cool. That would be a very different
awesome.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. I mean, that's not going to happen. No. But that would be an awesome way to go with Dark Angels and the Fallen to have their own.
They could even have their own box set for it. That would be even better.
Yeah. Yeah, because it kind of like in the last White Dwarf they did for them, they kind of teased the idea of putting new units in there like sorcerers and rhinos and all sorts. And it would be quite nice if they advanced the story a bit more with the Fallen and the Dark Angels, that they had their own codex. I think that would be really nice.
There are rumours of certain other Primarchs coming back, so it may be centred around that.
exactly.
So if obviously Lee and Russ will be a Space Wolves thing clearly, but then if
Got the Lion
Johnson
for
comes back, they could do a Fallen.
Johnson. Yeah. So yeah, I think it'd be cool. I'd really want to see the Fallen come back, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Our Cypher's cool. I really want to get a Cypher model. Just chuck him in for an army.
I think the thing always about Cypher, he's got that sword in his back. I want to know what it's about. I just want to know.
Cosplay gone wrong.
It's just stuck to his back. Do you reckon?
It's a foam sword. It's not.
It's a foam sword. He's had to leave it there. He went to like a party, and he's like, "Oh, nice sword. Is that the Emperor sword?" Yeah.
And he's really embarrassed now. He can't take it off. He's like, "No, I can't. I can't draw
move.
It." Yeah.
It's just.
It's like a Minecraft sword. It's Minecraft foam.
Just keeps coming out. Oh
yeah.
Just like it.
I'm really sorry. This is so embarrassing.
But the Chaos Lord jump pad thing. That was an interesting way to go. It seems a little.
I mean,
I think it's a cop out. I think they could have done it quite easily. Jump pack.
Yeah, it's just.
I feel like they just didn't. I think they didn't want to do the models.
But they already had the model.
Well, no, because they already had Hurricane. What's his face?
But they had the guy. They had the Chaos Lord with the lightning claws of the jump pack.
True.
And within like 2 months, I think it was before the Codex came out, they literally went, "No, he's gone." But then the Space Marines, and it's just a bizarre choice that you've got these Space Marine models at Firstborn. They haven't had a new kit for years, but they're still in the Codex. But it's weird. I'm just a bit confused. I think it's just a bit of a balls up by GW on that. But yeah, who knows?
I mean, maybe they'll change it a little bit. I mean, I feel they obviously. I think Abaddon's quite an interesting one as well in general, just for the.
Abaddon's a beast.
Yeah. He's an interesting. They've made him into a proper Chaos Lord now. Like a proper. He's
Primarch.
This is me commanding the entire thing. He's basically, I suppose, a bit like Calgar / Gilliman, sort of in between those two. He's not quite a Primarch, but he's pretty.
Yeah,
he's in.
I think that's the thing. The difference is the narrative, I suppose. He wasn't born a Primarch, but essentially through the powers and age and etc.
Even if he's one of the most expensive HQs now because of the not just in points but in Warlord trait cost. Because you have to spend 3 command points to buy all his Warlord traits, as far as I understand legally. If you can even do that, I assume you can. But with regards to jump pack, the other interesting thing is obviously Blackheart's quite an old model now, isn't he?
Euron Blackheart is quite old, yeah.
And so is the Lucius the Eternal.
Yeah, I think Lucius obviously is just going to get a new model when the Emperor's Children get a Codex.
But they chose to redo a Demon Prince, redo Fabius Bile.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chaos Law's been redone, hasn't it?
That
kind of. Well, if you look at the.
The Blackstone one.
Yes,
the Thunderhammer boy.
Terminator Lords.
The old one.
They're still the same, aren't they? Yeah. Sorcerers are still the same. Actually, the standard.
No, they got a new sort. They had a newish.
The standard sorcerer isn't. Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, the standard one, but the sorcerer and Terminator armor is
exactly
the same kit as a Lord.
I also think the Terminator sorcerer armor. The sorcerer and Terminator is one of the most boring models.
He is pretty dull.
He's very dull. In my opinion, not to be offensive to any Thousand Sun players, it's like a Thousand Sun-esque. Model with the big. That's.
You could do more with that kit, maybe. I think you could definitely convert him up a bit to make him look a bit more dynamic.
Anyway, so my point is that they've kept a lot of the Exalted Champions. That's new, isn't he?
He's not new.
That
model was from 7th or 8th edition. He's been around for a fair while, but they never really called him Exalted Champion. He was kind of like champion. And then they came up with this Exalted Champion role, and even then they didn't. Initially, I don't think they clicked that could be the model for that role.
No.
And they were kind of like, I suppose you could use him. But now, obviously, they've just gone, this is the Exalted Champion. This is the war gear he has, which is a combi melter and a power axe.
Yeah. But then you think that's pretty much what they're doing with all models now.
Yeah. Dark Vengeance. Sadly. Yeah, because he was Yeah, that's it. Well done, Sarah. Yeah, he came out
So
Dark Reign.
and I think the variation will become, unfortunately, in named characters, because essentially the standard character kits aren't particularly customizable. The Primaris range, in my opinion, is you can customize it, but you have to stick to within quite stringent rules. So the other day, I just realised lieutenants can't have bloody power fists.
Oh, really?
Primaris lieutenant, yeah. So
I'm sure there must be a data sheet for
this guy here, I technically can't use.
What about sergeants?
Yeah, he can be a sergeant, but he's on a 40mm base, so looks a bit weird.
Yeah.
But that's yeah.
How bizarre.
Yeah. So, but you can always go Captain Vanilla, have a bolter and your helmet.
Ooh. Bam.
Yeah, but that's just it's just some weird decisions, I think. But ultimately, I hope that they develop on what they've done. Yeah, obviously you're not going to get a new Chaos Codex for another 10 years, so yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm happy with the Codex. I just think there's some peculiar choices in there.
Yes.
That they might have.
But then maybe you need to get yourself an Order Squad.
A bit more. Maybe. Oh, I think it's a cool kit. At some point, I probably will.
Pretty brutal. Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm loving the basic Legionnaires. I think they're so cool.
They buffed them nicely.
They buffed them nicely. They've got some good options in there now, and like the models, the more models they're releasing, it's just looking so cool now.
I know it's annoying because obviously my current Legion is very kind of Mark 3, Mark 4.
Yes, so you've got to keep with the theme.
So I might have to stick with that, but at the same time, I might start mixing in some other Legionnaire units here and there just to sort of break up to give that kind of warband-esque kind of look, I suppose. But
actually, so going back to the bikes, do they still do the 30k bikes?
They're jet bikes, aren't they?
No, they've got normal. They've got some different kits, I think, for the 30k. I think they've got some different ones on there. Anyway, how's everyone's hobby going? Sorry, we kind of went on a bit of a tangent on Chaos.
Oh, the Outrider squadrons, the Mark 4 Outriders.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the little curved fronts.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, I could. No. Sorry, I just looked at the price and I'm no.
They're a bit expensive.
£64 for 3.
Ooh. Oh, good. You need 10, Tom. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Although the only benefit I can see there is that they have mounted dual plasma guns on the front. So I won't be doing that, sadly. I'm not a huge fan of that bike. It looks very kind of Judge Dreddish bike.
Yeah, I don't know what other kits you could use really for the bikes. Yeah, because the Chaos Space, I've got them for my World Eaters, and I mean, they look all right, but they don't look amazing.
I think the problem with those old bikes, they really just look like bikes. There's not really anything. There's nothing like the standard. They're just. I have a motorbike and I'm now riding it. It's not really because it's the
dated, very dated kits now.
It's that kind of stance, like the thing because there's no real variation.
They kind of remind me of Judge Dredd, the Stallone Judge Dredd.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, talking of now, let's go on a slight tangent towards films and TV and stuff.
Adrian, no, sorry.
I made the massive mistake of watching the Resident Evil series on Netflix.
I decided not to watch that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. There's a couple of good bits.
Trailer, and I was just like, something doesn't seem right about this.
And then it just got worse.
Oh dear! I'm glad I skipped that. Then I was going to sit down and watch it the other day while I was doing some bits, and I was just like, something doesn't grab me about it. So, thank you for making my mistake for me.
No, that's cool. There's a couple of bits in there. I was like, this is quite cool. Like the post-apocalyptic worldy, some good bits were quite good. But then it just got worse. Just drivel. And
I think it was actually because obviously when you hover over and they do the little preview, and it was like, and now I'm fighting against somewhere to right all the wrongs of this world. Like, you and what army? This is like this sounds stupid straight away off the bat. I was like, no. Me and Vicky did finish watching All the Boys though.
Oh, good.
So we are done with that. We're up to date.
You're up to date.
Yes.
Nice. Good. I'm glad you got round to doing all of it. That's pretty full on.
So bad.
It's quite
Some
bad.
of it was horrendous, and I was just sitting going, "Why?
Yeah, I just love it. I think that
Yeah.
it's just perverse minds
Yeah.
that go into creating it. It's like, yeah, we could do this.
But it was nice that they didn't pull any punches. That was the nice thing about it. It was horrendous for horrendous' sake. And I loved
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
little pre-warnings before each one of them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. It's kind of like, you know, a lot of shows would kind of like
Yeah.
hint towards something happening. In the boys are like, no, we're not hinting.
No.
It's like they're almost holding your head. Look at what we're doing.
You can't turn away. We know you
Yeah.
can't. You're too invested in watching this now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to watch this. Yes, you do. This is what you signed up for.
Why is he climbing
There was a
in there?
disclaimer at the beginning. Just watch it. Ah!
Why is he going in there?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else I watched. Well, I've watched recently that was newish. I haven't really watched a lot of new stuff, to be honest, recently, apart from that, and yeah, not really.
Gone back to watching Peep Show.
Christ, I need to watch that again. Such a,
I forgot how good some of the bits are.
well, it had such a good cast, though, didn't it?
Very
So,
enjoyable.
you know,
Yeah, there was a lot of good actors in
Mitchell
that.
and Webb effect, you know.
It's some really good stuff they've done. Back, which was Mitchell and Webb as well. That's quite good on 4OD. And yeah, I said earlier I've been watching that fishing program on iPlayer, Whitehouse and Mortimer, and I don't know what it is.
That.
Yeah,
Yes, Paul. What? Yes, that's the Rick V. Sorry, yeah, Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse. Yeah, that was yeah, I've watched a bit of that as well. That's actually not bad because it's really about obviously them two just having a bit.
Yeah.
It's
not really about fishing.
Exactly.
Like I've been fishing before, and I appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
And it is enjoyable, but it's more like you said, it's more about the people,
Yes.
and all the whole thing, not just about the technical fishing stuff. And I loved it. It's so relaxing.
We'll show our age here now. See how many people actually know who we're talking about, because obviously, if I mention like the Fast shows and these, so long ago, you know, it's like Jesus. And but no, that's cool. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I could understand why that would be quite good to watch. Actually, that's a good. Yeah, other than that, I have been re-listening to a lot of my Sharp novels, which I've been enjoying thoroughly.
Good.
Because they're, because me and Vicky watched a couple of episodes on TV. On DVD rather. That's the one I'm looking for. I was like, oh yeah, quite listen to that. I've listened to it, and I think the books are so much better. Just listening to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's
you watch a small, 1 hour and whatever little TV series, and you listen to the 8-hour book, and the amount that is portrayed over the 8-hour book in comparison is like, wow, there was so much more going on here than in this. But even I love the obviously the TV series in its little bubble. That's fine. It's just a bit of a laugh. It's basically someone shouting bastard at someone and then kicking people in the nuts while running away for an hour, and somehow surviving. But then
I wonder how he's going to get out of this one.
Bastard!
Musket round the back of the head.
but it also that's it. But then you actually watch you listen to the actually he's from in that particular setting when he's actually listened to the full story. He's such more of the character's much more developed, obviously. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get some of that on Audible.
Seriously, listen to the first lot, because obviously Sharp's Tiger's the first one. Yeah, that's actually because obviously in the film, sorry, not the film.
10 points there, Gumpton. Well done.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Thank you. That's cool. Yeah. In the ITV series, obviously he gets his jump up from Wellington, which is factually correct for the book. However, it's not actually there where it happens. It's completely different, because the first 3 books are actually set in India. And then it goes. So it's actually very different to what you because
it's the other way round, isn't it?
Hang
on.
Yeah,
the
TV
there's
series.
Like a flashback, isn't there?
Yes.
In the series when he was.
It completely breaks the chronological.
And then he
of the films. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hinted at that in the. So I haven't read the books. I just remember the series. It's hinted at in the series that he was there before he got promoted. You never really see much of that because there's like a couple of flashbacks.
Yes.
Then you have all of France and Europe.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to India, in that as well.
But
Okay.
yeah, actually the stories that are set in the TV series at the end with the India bit is actually pretty much where it's very loosely follows some of the story from the first books.
Right.
But it's not, to be fair, they're not really a patch on the book side of it. But no, but yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I'd recommend listening to the first three at least as well to see if you get into it, because it's really good. Because Cornwall, obviously, he's a very historical fiction writer, and it's the actual events going on are very accurate. So it's just obviously you slot this character in that's quite larger than life, really, but it works really well. So
I kind of like to think of him as kind of like he did as much damage as Bond did to just going around and shagging people around Europe. There you go. Andy Ashbit's Space is pretty good. Space is
yeah, exactly,
amazing.
Jack. He hasn't read any of them or listened to any of them. He's a madman.
Maybe I need to.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to.
Because
on a side note,
yeah,
my Audible, I've got a new bank card, and my Audible set up for the old bank card, and I keep meaning to change it, but I keep forgetting.
So I did have a month
with nothing.
They've got 3 free credits on a re-sign up at the moment.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay, well, I'll probably do that then. That'll be quite good.
Excuse me.
So what I've been doing is just going back through the Siege of Terror stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the Titan one. What's the Titan one called?
Oh, God.
What's the Titan one called, people? The Titan Siege of Terror. Don't cheat. Everyone should know this off the top of your head. Mortis. Mortis. Is it just Mortis? Yeah, Mortis.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've almost finished that now.
Yeah, they are.
So,
yes, Jack. Yes, correct.
Okay, well, I
apologise. Shame!
I apologise to all the Sharp fans out there. Jack.
Hi.
And Tom.
But honestly, speaking of that era, I mean, obviously we've spoken. I think we've spoken probably more frequently about actually looking at a game system with that particular era.
Well, Tom, the other day you questioned my thoughts of going into.
And you didn't answer me because you're a little,
Well, I was going to order something, and then I forgot. And then just before the stream tonight, I was like, I've really got to order some because I'm going to go French. Because I know how much I know how much of a massive fan you are of this, and I think if I went British and I took them away from you, I don't think you'd ever forgive me. And I quite like blues, so I'm happy to go French.
So you actually buying some, are you then?
I'm going to buy some. Yeah, I haven't got my bank card on me.
Okay, I will do it on Friday. I will get something on Friday.
I'm just going to get a box, and I'm going to paint the box up and just see how I like them. But
so the question is, should I start with the 95th rifles off the bat?
I think it's like, it must be a running joke in Black Powder as well. Here we go, 95th Rifles again. Everyone's got a 95th Rifles. It's the only regiment ever represented in Black Powder.
No, I probably will start with some redcoats, I think. Some Fusiliers, maybe.
I did run a poll on this as well. And the Chaos Land Raider, most people would run a Chaos Land Raider.
That's debatable, that percentage.
Give it down, 57. It's open to question.
I mean, that's like Brexit, isn't it? So.
Yeah, well, that's all worked out really well for everyone, hasn't it? That was a massive success. Yeah. Well done, everybody.
Well done, everyone who voted.
Worked out really well for everyone.
Shouldn't get political.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you know which side of the fence we're on. It's probably clear. Well done. Good.
There you go. What's go? It's 28 mil.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of games of it. It looked interesting. It looked quite simplistic, I think. But I think there's a bit of depth from movement, which is, I think, obviously we used to play. Warhammer Fantasy was probably a good comparison for movement.
Yeah, Warhammer Fantasy.
I've got to look up stuff now in a bit. Oh, Dom, you got right before we're in a pockets go. This isn't a good idea. It's a good.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course it is, Tom.
Everyone's going to turn up. We're going to. Oh, I thought we were playing Black Powder.
Yeah, I thought we were doing Waterloo. Well, that's what we were doing. I've painted a Chaos Space Marine Land Raider, so I'm going to play it. Yes, well done. I've got 2 Land Raiders, Mr. Blue. And like I said earlier, Spartans are cheaper than Land Raiders at the moment. So that's interesting in itself. But yeah, I like Land Raiders. I think that I love the aesthetics of a Land Raider. I think it's a big chunky tank, and now they've made him a bit more durable. Definitely on my radar, taking him more often.
The British Army starter set for £100.
I'm not going to bet that much.
No. I was only going to get a small box. In all seriousness, I might get some line infantry just for a starting point. It's only £26 for that, which is not bad. How many are you honestly think you're getting, by the way? What's your size you're going with? So I want to go something similar. What size?
I was just going to get a box of
French infantry.
French line infantry. Yeah.
Okay, I will get a box of British line infantry from the Peninsular War as well. Then.
Yeah, and we just shoot each other and see how many we can clear out. That'd be a great battle report. But 24 versus 24.
Load!
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Ooh.
There you go.
I think I want to do British.
Oh, back to the Warhammer.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got there,
I was watching that Inquisitor series on Warhammer Plus.
I haven't watched the second half yet.
I completely neglected it, and suddenly there was loads of episodes.
Oh, it's good.
So I watched like 2 episodes, I think, and then I was like, I'll get round to doing it again. And I looked the other day, I was like, oh my goodness,
yeah,
I've got all this to watch. So I've slowly been going through it, and I'm still loving it. I think it's really good.
It's a nice. Oddly enough, in a weird way, the shortness actually suits it as well. In this particular case, obviously I normally rag on that quite a bit. It's not a lot, but actually because they feel like very short, sweet, comic book-esque sections. I think it works quite well with that, and the art style is quite nice with it as well. And obviously I know it's all non-colorized, but it works.
I like that. I like that they go with different options and try different things when it comes to the animation style. I think it'd be a bit boring if they just kept doing the same thing, because then it would appear very dated very quickly. I think if they just kept doing the same style.
Maybe we'll go with Spanish. I'm joking. We'll go.
You go Spanish if you want.
Nah, they've got mad uniforms, man. Have you seen the Spanish uniforms? They're just.
No, I bet they're nice, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
A little look. Spanish. Can't see the Spanish. Can see the Portuguese.
Yeah, Spanish. Yeah, the Spanish Fusiliers there. If you hover with black powder, Napoleonic Wars, and then Napoleonic Spanish.
I mean, the Portuguese look quite nice.
Yeah, they like their white with green and stuff like that. It's quite. I suppose gaudy would be the. Either we'll go pike and shot, Dom. There we go. Go proper old.
I mean, either way, that's quite cool as well. Charge of the Light Brigade. I think the thing is, it's just like the aesthetics of it all look really nice.
I want to play. The thing is, I want to make a really cool board from that era as well, because there's something about that board style which is just cool.
When they've got the there's I don't know if you follow them, and I don't know if anyone else follows them on in the chat tonight. But Perry Miniatures, if you follow them on Facebook, they put some amazing historical pictures up on their Facebook page, and go check them out. It's actually really inspiring when it comes to like historical wargaming wise. Go and check them out and have a little look. I think I've shared them a couple of times on our Facebook page as well.
Ah, Chosen Men, British 95th Rifles. There we go, that'll do. Fine. That was Perry Miniatures, was it?
Yeah, Perry Miniatures. They've also got a website, and this is what I quite like about. So going away from Games Workshop, and we look towards historical. If you look at Perry Miniatures, the line infantry, you can get a lot for your money from Perry Miniatures. And obviously, people who know about Games Workshop past Perry, the Perry brothers used to work with or for Games Workshop and went off and did their own thing and had their passion, which is historical wargaming. And so you can look around and pick them up cheaper. Like Warlord Games obviously do a good selection with good quality models, and Perry Miniatures do the same. But if you want block infantry, You check them out.
Let's have a look. Actually, looks quite cool. You've got War of the Roses.
There's some good stuff, isn't there? Some really niche things going on.
Yeah, it is very niche. What was that? Sorry, I had a knock on. But yeah,
English Civil War.
I will definitely pick up some black powder miniatures for this little session, Dom, and we'll see how it develops. I'm quite interested
definitely.
in trying it. At least it's going to be a real bugger to paint, but are these smaller than Guardsmen?
I think they're probably a bit finer than Guardsmen.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But once again, I think it depends on what you're getting. I think if you're going like block troops, you'd probably be a bit more monopose than.
I'll definitely be painting them before I stick them on their bases. Just had
Maybe a good idea.
Well, the base is a block of 4 by the looks of it for each base. So
yeah. There's so much in there, isn't there? I think I'd probably go late French as well because I quite like they've got nice coats. Oh, hang on, were they the Spanish?
You find them? Yeah.
No, I've got the Napoleonic Hanoverians. They got some nice little outfits, haven't they? Nice little outfits. You've got a nice little outfit.
You're on the Warlord Games website.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are there.
Be fun to start off with a few skirmish battles. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we'll definitely do some filming on it, 100%, because I think we want to try out some other bits for the channel anyway. Because as much as we do love our 40k, it's nice to break it up a little bit, to sort of see.
Oh yes, definitely.
To see some other games. Obviously, our terrain's going to need a bit of a rework for some of these.
Well, I think we talked before about terrain, or it's basically. I think if you go with, your terrain for black powder, and you've got like some French farmhouses and a couple of the old buildings. If you decided then to go into bolt action, you could then kind of use some of these older buildings because
countryside at that time. Yeah.
Countryside's countryside, and there's fair enough. There's just over 100 years, but then it's Europe. It's older buildings are going to be there, so why not? Because I think you might as well, rather than you can't really use 40k buildings, can you? No, you can't really. But things like bushes and hedgerows and stuff, you can use in whatever.
I don't mind just having a bit of specific stuff for it, but the thing is, you do need hills in this as well. So because otherwise you kind of lose that, I suppose, that little bit of tactical difference from going up and down and stuff like that. Which is one thing I always think is actually missing in 40k. Actually, oddly enough. Obviously,
very flat, the 41st millennium.
Yeah, and because obviously we used to play on one of the realm battle boards with the big hill in the middle. And that was actually quite cool because you had that bit of raised. Yeah, ground. And yes, we could potentially do some more stuff like that. But again, it's very much like conforming to the way that they want you to play the game, I suppose.
Absolutely, mate. But yeah, I think there's some good stuff. I'll definitely wander back in a moment and order some bits.
Yeah, I'll buy a single box of troops in, and then
absolutely.
And if we get properly into it, never know, buy one of the starter sets as a little project. Because the starter sets look quite good value for money, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you've got to kind of have a look and see what the models are like, and I give it a go painting them, and kind of go, actually, play a little like.
So play a couple little
skirmish game, and just go from there.
Artillery! Fire!
I have to watch Waterloo like a dozen times.
I love the original. I have it on. I bought it on actual Google Play, so I wouldn't lose the film ever because it's an amazing film.
Didn't you have that on DVD?
I did, but I bought it.
Because I remember when we were living together, you had it and we watched it.
Yeah, it's such a surprising film still even now. But the acting's very good on it, to be fair. Yeah, the guy who plays I can't remember the guy who plays Napoleon, but he was very good.
There's a good documentary on Amazon, I think it is, about reenactors, and there's this big heated discussion about who's going to play Napoleon at like whatever anniversary of Waterloo it is, and it's quite funny to watch. A trying Frostgrave, similar to more than one wizard, one apprentice. Bots and goons. No buy-in. Fancy. I tell you what, I've seen some nice Mordheim battlefields going up on Instagram. Same with Necromunda. Like the terrain is absolutely brilliant of what people put in. And if you've got time and space to invest in that stuff, it really can be immersive into whatever game you're playing.
Actually, because one thing we haven't done was actually we haven't put a link up to our Discord for a little while.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, we're going to put a link up there. Come and join our little community. It's a very friendly community. Hopefully, someone in the chat can tell you how friendly the community is if you're new. Andy Ashby, say how brilliant our community is in Discord, or Mr. Blue, or Jack.
Someone who likes us.
Yeah, yeah, someone we could depend on. Peter, don't say anything.
Right, here we go. Grabbing that there.
Yeah, Fancy Battles did used to have bonuses for being on hills.
So if anyone wants to join up, just use that link there. That will drop you in, and we can add you in as a member as soon as you're in there. But yeah, as for rules, Laura, have you tried Frostgrave? Not heard of Frostgrave personally. Don't know if you, Dom, or
I've heard of Frostgrave. I've definitely heard of it. I've kind of.
However, I'm not. I will say I'm not a huge fan of small skirmish games.
Yeah.
I can see that. I'm having a look at now. I can see what you mean by the models are very nice. I'll give them that. They're actually pretty.
Frostgrave Undead. £11.
Yeah, that's like a very nice little buy-in. Yeah, as you say, it's quite a nice.
Yeah, there's some cool games out there.
So many to choose from. It's all. The thing is, you can, as I say, you can find a lot of things if you're willing to look down those little rabbit holes. Of Four Feathers. Yes, I've watched Four Feathers. Andy, yeah, was that Heath Ledger in that one, wasn't he? Four Feathers. Was it Heath Ledger in that one? Might be thinking wrong. Go look it up
now. 40 miniatures. They're quite cool.
Yeah, it's a very young Heath Ledger. Yeah, thought so. 2002. No, that's disgusting,
Dom. There's some cool models in Frostgrave. I was looking at some of the old fantasy models the other day, and back when I first started, I did fantasy orcs and goblins, and like the aesthetics changed so much. But I've got some sort of thing I really love. I don't know why. Maybe it's some weird fetish I have, but I really love the really old metal fantasy models. Yeah, you'd have the shield with like the grinning moon on there, or
it's like the ones on the combat cards.
Yeah, yes. Those are the ones I love, and the slightly older ones as well, where it looked like they're just so 80s. And obviously, like, they're not as detailed as the new ones that come out now, which is fine. But there's something about them that I really love, and yeah, it's all good. More into skirmish games. The more games recently, Kill Team and Net Commander both have groups. I still need to play some Kill Team. I was looking at my Chaos Space Marines earlier, the Legionnaires, and I was like, I could do a cool little Kill Team with these guys.
We never really dropped into Kill Team. We tried it.
We tried the last this last version. We had a couple of games we played. I quite enjoyed where we had like the multiplayer games, and it was like I would give it another go. I think we'd have to get the rule set off someone and have a little play of it. I don't think I'd necessarily want to invest right away financially in Kill Team.
Sorry, the remake was Heath Ledger. Pardon me. I didn't realise there was one before that. Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah, there's some good stuff. I do love skirmish games, little ones where you just have like 10 men. I suppose that's a buy-in, isn't it? Because I think the Games Workshop have released their profits and stuff, haven't they? Obviously, the skirmish games don't even appear on the radar with those a lot of times. It's all about 40k. AOS
But
Horus
it's a
Heresy.
gateway game as well, isn't it? That's the whole point.
Yeah. And
That's the reason they make them, is to get people interested into the
well, like Blood Bowl, for
setting.
instance, you buy the box set. Like, for instance, we would buy the box set, or your group of mates would buy the box set. You'd all buy a team, and you're done. You can start buying extra bits in there if you really wanted to, but it's not like 40k where you've got to constantly buy new stuff all the time. Necromunda. And I think things with Necromunda, from my personal experience playing Necromunda back in the day, is that you get so invested in the gang that you've got. And like I said, it's more about the terrain and the board and your particular gang. It's just like, that's all I need. I don't need
I've
to
had
keep
many
buying more
gangs for
stuff.
Necromunda.
But that's what I mean. But with 40k and AOS, especially with 40k at the moment, you just end up buying more stuff all the time.
What do you mean? Never happens.
I know. Yeah, it's what it is, isn't it? I mean,
Hey,
I love my
we're not in this
Chaos
hobby because we're cheap.
Definitely not.
We're just broke.
Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Right. Well, I think that might be a good place to leave it there for tonight.
Yes, definitely, mate. Well done, everybody, for coming along.
You managed to survive, everyone. That's impressive.
And I've done some dry brushing on these Chaos Space Marines. I'm going to do some more detail work on them, and they'll be finished soon.
I'm going to do some more reading of a book and work out what we can, what I can take for the Night Laws, and hopefully do some updates on them fairly soon. We shall see. So just 140 quid and you're in.
140 quid each. 280 quid for the box set. 20 models.
On that note, and that bombshell, as some people may say, I think we'll leave it there. So anyway, as usual, I've been Tom, and this has been...
I'm Tom!
And we're both from Black Toad Studio. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. Don't forget to check out Goblin Gaming if you get a second. We have a link in our description.
Yeah, you could buy Warcry £140 or £280.
Yeah, or you could buy other things like that's cheaper.
Warcry.
Use
Just
the
buy
link.
it. I've no knowledge on it. Just buy it.
Just buy it. No knowledge. Just buy it. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. We will speak to you all soon. Take care, everyone.